Coming up next, more Detractor content and after that Dragon Ball Z, only on Toonami.
Hello, Atomic Toy Robot here. Just making a video to kind of piggyback off the community post I had made. Like I had said yesterday, it was kind of a big day in the Detractorverse, in the Vortex, for everybody involved. But I want to touch on the whole segment with Derich, where DSP was confronted by Kino Casino guys and Null. I'm going to play the clip real quick, and then I'm just going to give some of my thoughts.
But brother Phil, like, you can't have a pedophile making stuff for you and part of your community in a broad sense, right? Like, you should probably just ban the fucking guy and send him packing, and I think you'd get a lot less shit if you did.
Here's the thing, you're right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. You guys are correct. If I were right now to say enough is enough, too many people have issue with this guy, ban him.
Sure.
Okay? That would solve that problem. However, the big picture that no one's looking at.
Let's solve that problem then.
Okay, but listen.
Yeah, good.
You don't understand the Pandora's box that you open once you do
Phil,
that.
that's a very obvious, like, slippery slope fallacy. It's like you can get rid of the guy that has the
That
little
is
girl
a
playlist on
fallacy,
YouTube without
yeah.
opening Pandora's box. That's
No.
Yeah.
Oh, Josh, you got to listen. All right? Because, again, you know how bad my detractors are, correct? You know
Right,
how
sure.
crazy they are. The only reason that we even know anything about this person is because my detractors went to all of his personal socials and dug into them deep.
But he's a pedophile.
But they got him.
They
It's
dug
right,
They
into
got
him
him,
deep.
though.
Okay, now hold on.
he's a
I know.
pedophile,
Listen.
yeah.
I'm not disputing what you guys are saying, but please let me finish what I'm
Oh,
saying.
For sure.
All right. If the only reason that I know that this guy did something bad is because people went off of the realm of my streams and my content to find it, I'm sorry, but that's not my responsibility to be dealing with. Do you understand? Because here's the thing. Now, please listen. If I ban Derich right now, I call him Derich because that's what I thought his name was. I guess it actually is Derich or whatever. But if I ban Derich right now, here's what will happen. Because here's what Josh just said about Kiwi Farms. If he deletes my thread on Kiwi Farms right now, the detractors go somewhere else to do something worse, correct? If I ban Derich right now, the detractors won because they say, look what we did. We researched a guy who no one would have known he had anything wrong with him by just watching Phil's streams. For the record, Derich has never once talked about any of this malicious activity on my stream. He knows better than that. He doesn't bring that shit. That's his personal life or whatever, right? So he does not do that on my streams. If I ban him, guess what happens? The detractors say, we got the response we wanted.
His
Phil finally
personal
banned him.
If I may,
We're on to the next.
I have a very personal, like, because there's a very comparable story to this. The forum is having a kind of beef with this Ricada guy that you know about, and he dug through some information and he found out that one of the users is a convicted child pornographer from the District of Columbia. And when this was brought to my attention, I banned him. And sure, them finding this out was a win. You know, they won. They got to say, oh, well, the Kiwi Farms has a pedophile. We can prove it. And it's true. It's embarrassing. But I still banned him because I don't want a pedophile on my forum. Do you think that's a fair comparison?
It is a fair comparison. However, what you didn't let me finish this statement here. The moment I ban Derich and these detractors say we won, guess what happens? You just gave them exactly what they wanted. You gave them the attention they're craving, and then they move on to someone else. And then they move on to someone else.
Phil,
and then they move on to someone else until it's done.
But sometimes in life you have to hold the L, and sometimes bad people are going to get a win. But that's just the reality. You can't have a pedophile in your community, like an open pedophile. And you're basically admitting he's a pedophile.
Oh, no, let me tell you this.
It's okay.
I will say this. I don't know anything about that because I make it a philosophy. I do not personally research my viewers. I think that's fucking creepy that I would spend my time every time that someone says something about someone. I got to go search their socials. I got to go to their YouTube page and search their history.
Wait, may I say one thing? Sorry, may I say one thing? Okay, so you're saying people did research outside the realm of your show and
Right.
whatever. I get what you're saying there. Well, if Derich was caught and you found out that the police found something on him and he's in the middle of a trial right now and he was a pedophile, right? And it wasn't the detractors or anything. It was through legal whatever, right? Then would you ban him because it wasn't detractors?
Well, how would I find out about that? Like, how would I even know
A
that
fan of yours goes, I live in the same city as him and I saw him on the news, for example.
What if it was Harvey Weinstein? Like, how bad does somebody have to be before you're like, well, I don't want to associate with this guy?
So
You
if
know what I
Hitler
mean?
was on my stream and was still alive, would I ban Hitler, right?
Yeah, if Adolf Hitler 1488 was an active user on your stream, would you ban him? Because he's only the Führer in Germany, and you don't know anything about that, right?
Wow. Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, that's a good point. But and I totally understand what you're saying. I do. Let me tell you, I've gotten a lot of shit over this. And here's the funny part. What the fuck does this have to do with me? It's not even anything I've done or ever. I got to take shit because someone got dirt on a viewer of mine who talks a lot in chat or whatever. And again, the other things you've been told are not true. He's not a moderator. He doesn't regularly make any content for me. He's had one tier maker that I made. That's it. Like, that's literally the extent of that. And then he talks a lot.
So if he does have playlists of little girls on his channel, he's creeping on little girls. Do you disavow that behavior?
Oh, absolutely, I do. Absolutely,
So you disavow Derich then?
Yeah, I don't condone any of that. But at the same time, I'm not going to go out of my way to find out who everyone is or what they do outside of the realm of my stream.
We're bringing it to you.
Me and Josh have both looked at it as of yesterday, saw that it was foul and disgusting, and now we're bringing it to you. We're credible. Like, I'm trying to help you.
Yeah.
I know, but I totally understand where you guys are going.
You are totally correct that if you ban this guy, the detractors will start looking into your viewers harder. You are totally correct. That is a completely accurate assessment. But wouldn't you still not want this guy to be in your community or your audience and openly known as this guy?
Mm-hmm.
Because if I'll swing it the other way, it's a no-win situation. That's correct. If you don't ban him, if you ban him, then the detractors will look into your other viewers, and you're completely accurate about that. But if you don't ban him, if you do nothing, then they will just continue to bring this up with an accurate line from the point A to point B, and it will always be there, and it will always haunt you, and people will always ask, well, why the fuck doesn't he just ban this guy if he knows about it?
Mm-hmm.
It's a no-win situation. I agree.
You're right.
But I think that one option is better than the other.
So to answer that, at least in my experience, and I'm 42 years old. I don't know how old you are, Josh, but I'm 42 years old. I've learned in my 42 years on this planet that I would much rather deal with the devil I know than the devil I don't. And what I mean by that is, I know who Derich is. I can't confirm or deny what you guys are saying because I've literally never looked into it.
How can you say you know who he is when you won't look into it?
I know who he is in my chat. I know who he is as part of.
This is flat out delusional, though. Like, if you look at his Twitter account, it's just straight up porn.
Okay, I believe you. You're telling me this now as a neutral third party, correct? You're neutral.
Yeah, and we think it's very foul. Like Phil, this is not like, oh, someone's kind of like an incel or weird or whatever. And
it's three playlists. This is like hundreds of videos of just little girls doing innocuous things. It's genuinely fucking creepy.
Well, if this is what you guys are telling me, then yeah, I'm going to ban him.
Let's go. Yeah, honestly,
hold on. The devil, that was the devil I knew. You understand?
Yeah.
So I can deal with that. I know how to deal with this guy. He talks a lot in the chat and whatever, and it's annoying to certain people. And I got to hear people talk about what he does in his personal life. But now when I ban him, now I got to deal with the devil I don't know. What's the next person who's now going to get harassed by my detractors? And I don't want this to be like Phil's viewer hunt.
I understand that, but I think regardless of what you do, your viewers are going to get harassed.
And they're still going after your other viewers, dude.
This happened before. There were whales on the DSP channel who got doxxed. And I think that was one of the other things where I was kind of irritated with people on the DSP board because they were doxing, like, I don't remember his name, but there was a guy that gave you a lot of money, and simply because he gave you a lot of money.
You have to understand something. What you're describing right now is a normal day of behavior on that forum about me. That's not like the exception to the rule. That's literally what happens every time a whale shows up to support me. They get doxxed on your forum.
And that's why the Derich thing doesn't matter, because it's like they're going to be pieces of shit no matter what. And honestly, like, we're telling you right now, I swear, Phil, We made it as nice as possible. I gotta say, this Derich guy is twisted. Like
it's just bad news, Phil, and you gotta get rid of this guy. Like, you know, you didn't know until today, but now you know, and I'm just telling you, man. If you don't,
it gets worse if you don't do anything about it.
It gets way worse if you don't get rid of him. And quite frankly, our audience isn't going to tolerate Derich, and and nor do I. I'm not going to tolerate Derich either. And some people in chat are saying, "Why haven't you banned Derich from this chat?" If Derich hasn't been banned from our chat already, I advise every single mod to ban him because I honestly like. It's just this weird, creepy stuff. Like, he's got lolicon going on his Twitter. He had that YouTube playlist of little girls. And then everything he talks about is porn all the time. And it's just a bad look for you to be associated with it, Phil. And I think if you were to cut this cancer off at the legs and just throw him the fuck out, I think you would win a lot of respect and support from people. Straight up.
See, and here's the thing, what you just said. So if you were to cut the cancer off, but the thing is, he's not me. He's just a dude in my chat.
But
so I get what you're saying.
Is reality,
the only reason that association ever existed is because my detractors went and stalked the guy to figure out the information. I'm not being sympathetic to what he's doing. I'm sympathetic to 100%. The fact that this guy never did that in my chat. And then the rules now are going to become, oh, well, now if you ever do anything that's deemed immoral, Phil might ban you from his chat.
The pedophilia,
and I don't want
people
to think that.
Surpasses a lot of immoral stuff. In my opinion, and also, you know, we have a lot of viewers here. If someone went and found something on one of the viewers, and it was like they're fucking, you know, pedophile, this, that, the other, we'd surely ban them without even a thought, right? Yeah. Especially if it came out to be true, and you're like, okay, this guy, and it's not like it's like a rumor. It's this guy on his main channel. You click view channel, and he's got it open. Like, he's like, here it is, guys, and we really think that I know what you're saying, that your detractors will be crazy and psychotic and go after other people, but they'll do that anyway. And I'd respect you a lot if you just got rid of him. And, you know, it sort of puts a precedent to, I will not let people who believe in the shit in my chat.
I'm just saying the proof is like overwhelming. Like it's undeniable when you look at it. It's just too overwhelming to deny. So
Done. All right. So, I mean, I'll be honest. Here's my final statement on it. It makes me sad for two reasons. Number one, it makes me sad to know that this guy does all that shit because I heard it for like 2 years now. And I'm just like, it's just the detractors, right? Maybe they're exaggerating. They're making it up. And I made a philosophy. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to look into it because if I do, I've broken my own moral code that I'm not going to look and stalk and harass my own viewers. So that's why I haven't done it until today. But now that you guys have said this to me, I believe you. I don't think you have anything to gain by lying to me. So I will be banning him when he shows up because you know undoubtedly he's going to show up in my chat this week, and I will ban him on all of my channels. Okay, that's
a righteous decision, King.
But here's why I'm sad, all right? Yeah. To be honest with you guys, from what I know of the guy in my chat, he actually was like a good person in the chat.
He seemed nice. Yeah.
He's a nice guy. He adds nice comments. I mean, he's needy. He always asks, "Hey, talk to me. Why is he not talking to me?" Right? But he has very nice positive comments.
What?
You know,
can you explain that? What does that mean?
But Phil,
no, he needs attention. You know what I'm saying?
Let's just talk positive about the pedophile, right, Phil?
No, I'm not. No, I just understand. If you separate that, because that was been my philosophy.
He's got candy for the kids.
When this guy showed up to the chat, he came with this entire van full of candy. It was so nice.
This is like you know someone for a while. And you only know, like, so let's say you're at work, and someone at work is someone you're friendly with, right? And you're like, wow, they're a nice guy. Then you find out 2 years later that this guy's a scumbag, like something like this. That's the feeling I have about it. But you guys are absolutely correct, so I'm going to get rid of him because I trust you.
So over the years, we've all found it kind of strange that DSP defends Derich at every turn whenever it's been brought up. And yesterday, I found it surprising that basically his argument for defending him was essentially to own the trolls for the most part, and saying, oh, well, if they get this win, then imagine what they're going to do next. And I think it's a little psychotic to defend essentially a criminal to try to disprove people that you don't like. That's a really weird way to kind of address this, and I find it interesting because DSP loves to be Mr. Morality. He loves to be like he's like holier than thou, like he's some sort of beacon of morality. But when he has been confronted regarding Derich's behavior, apparently all those morals get thrown out the window to not allow a group of people that he finds to somehow be even more immoral than Derich to win. And it wasn't even like he came to the conclusion on his own as if like, oh, you know, I understand, like I shouldn't be defending this person is doing something that's reprehensible. He needed 3 other grown men to basically handhold him and explain to him why it was wrong to defend Derich. But I don't think he was even... I still don't think he even understands why he needs to ban Derich, because there was a clip in that screen grab that I had shared. There was a clip of him saying like, oh, he still doesn't really grasp it. But what I had noticed was that Triple P basically said, hey, our fans aren't going to tolerate this. It was either him or Andy. They said that our fans aren't going to tolerate someone that's a pedophile in the community, and basically saying is that, hey, if you don't ban Derich, the money's going to dry up. So DSP's hand was forced because, well, he's making all this money now. So it's not even a question of like he understands it now morally. He is making the decision because it'll affect him financially. He has this new audience that he keeps, boasting over. And Derich could be the reason that all that new money is going to go away. So he's only making this choice because it's a financial choice, not a morality choice. If this wasn't the case, Derich wouldn't be quote-unquote banned. I mean, and in his decompression stream, when he gets off of Kino Casino, like the clip from Meow Block.
Excuse me. Andy did a super chat. Without a doubt, the biggest W is banning you-know-who. Sometimes to evolve means to leave the old shell behind. Andy and Ash want you to succeed. Again, I honestly don't see why this was such a big thing put on me, because it you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't stop someone from acting one way. You know what I'm saying? So banning someone from chat doesn't solve the problem, correct? And the person, they do not have an association with me. They're just a stream viewer. So to me, it's like, I don't get why this is an association, why people are upset anyway, but I'll do it. Whatever. Whatever.
Where he goes, I don't understand why the responsibility is put on me. With all the times this fucking idiot has done these like restaurant analogies where it's like, oh, if you come into my restaurant and you make all these fucking demands, I'm going to kick you out and this and that. Well, imagine, DSP, you dumbass, you own a sandwich shop and someone comes in and they have a pocket full of CP and people see him looking at it in your sandwich shop. Are you just going to, oh, well, he's just eating a sandwich. I can't stop him from looking that in my sandwich shop. He's eating a sandwich. This man's brain does not work correctly. Even with the Dr. Disrespect thing, he was like, oh, well, you can separate the art from the artist and blah, blah, blah. It does not work. And like I had stated, I think he should be seen as just as suspicious as Derich, because he's defending him. Like, morally, his compass is broken. As much as he goes, oh, the detractors and blah, blah, blah. If you can't make the connection that someone who is doing these acts or is associated with like this suspicious stuff, if you can't like make the connection that like, oh, I shouldn't be associated with this person, there's something wrong with you as well. And so that's basically it. I do think it's funny that the reason behind the banning is going to be a financial motivation and not an actual morality. DSP actually having decent morals. So that's it. Anyway, bye.